Alright, let's see here. This does bug me a little bit. That's going out in mono. Don't know why. Wait. See, analog 1, 2. Why does it come out as that? What if I added in, let's see, audio input capture, new source. Focus right. Okay, now it should be there. Okay. Okay, now it's in there. So it down to the same. Wonder if. I might have to check this out later, see if there's a reason why it's saying analog 1, 2. Hey. Put that there. Focus right. Scarlet, third gen. And yes. I don't know why this bugs me, but it does. Okay. Yes. And properties. Click the drop-down menu. Make sure I have the mono setting ticked off. So let's make sure of that in a second here. And mixer. Let's see. Down mix to mono. Ah, there we go. Alright. And it should carry across. Let's check it out here. Sounder. That's right. God, do I really do this on all the frickin' boxes? Download the mono. Okay.
Roger, roger.
Just a little housekeeping, folks. 2, focus right, to mono. Okay, I think I got this set up now. So it's coming out everywhere properly. Because I upgraded my interface. Decided to go with decided to upgrade to the newest Focusrite interface, the 3rd generation one, because the old one was causing issues last week with my audio. So it's like, well, you know, I could just change the cable. Why not just upgrade the whole damn thing? You know. So I don't have to mess. This uses USB-C instead of the standard cables. A lot nicer. So now we get that set up. Go back to the pre-show. Right deck. All right. We'll need some news to talk about, I guess. Not a lot of news. You know, this has been rather quiet. At least news that I care to talk about. Let's look at our stuff on the right screen. But because of that, I'm going to have the interview with Dayton Ward in this episode to kind of, you know, pad it. Yes, Dayton, you're padding. Congratulations. I'll make sure here. The button set up. Need a button. I was just playing weird how the shot gets reframed depending upon the thing. Alright. Hold on here. What I'm gonna do here, real quick, indulge me for a second, is I'm going to add a scene to this. Let's see. Alright, here back at Planet Comic Con 2021 with Dayton Ward.
Hey everybody.
So, we're going to let's see, add scene. Interview. Interesting, it's not letting me. Oh, I know why. Because I'm trying to do it from OBS instead of Streamlabs OBS. There we go. Alright, interview with a vampire. And I think it should be under interview. Let me check here. Alright, here back at Planet Comic Con 2021 with Dayton Ward. Alright, yep, it's under interview. So, of that. Actually, hold on here. Copy. Delete. And we want to go under sound effects. Here's where I want to put the interview. Because I want to be able to go and then Alright, here back at Planet Comic Con 2021 with Dayton Ward.
Everybody?
Writer super extraordinaire.
Yeah, okay.
I got butter you up, you know. So, what have you been doing in the intervening century since we've last been here?
Oh, the century that was 2020?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, thankfully, I was able to keep working throughout the whole mess last year, so I continued to write, continue to publish. I'm still doing some consulting work for CBS, so I stay busy.
Oh, excellent. Well, since we've interviewed several times, you know, we've covered questions. You know, it's no use, you know, going over the same road again and again and again.
Yeah, we've been here.
All right. Pre-show. There we go. All right. Now we got that set up. Let's see. Close that. Bring up that. Silence our phone. Turn off that. All right. Ooh, let's see something real quick here. We got some. We got the week's stats in here, just so those hit. So let's take a quick look. I am 139th in Apple Podcast Russia Entertainment News and 117th in the Apple Podcast Vietnam Entertainment News. So, woo. All right, let's get to work here. Tonight, Star Trek Prodigy adds another Voyager alum, Star Wars book news, and 5 questions with author Dayton Ward. All that and more on the sci-fi edition of Multiverse Tonight. Comic books, sci-fi, fantasy, and more. If you're looking for a roundup of geeky news, you're in the right place. This is Multiverse Tonight. And here's your host, Thomas Townley. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 145 of Multiverse Tonight. I'm, of course, your host, Thomas Townley. And I don't really have a lot to start the show with today. If you notice, if I sound different today, it's because I actually upgraded my Focusrite in interface with my microphone. So There's that. It's a nicer unit. I got from Sweetwater.com. I recommend ordering from them. They have the best freaking customer service. They'll call you before they send it. They'll call you after they send it. They will, they are the nicest people out there. So I do recommend Sweetwater.com for your microphone needs. They're mainly a music supply store, but they do have a lot of good microphones and stuff that's useful for podcasting as well. Other than that, not really a lot to talk about at the top of the show here. So let's go on to the Star Trek news. And we begin Star Trek news today with William Shatner, who will meet space as part of Blue Origin's New Shepard NS-18 crew on October 13th. Now he'll be joined by Chris Boshian, Blue Origin's VP of Mission and Flight Operations, Audrey Powers, and Glenn DeVries. The 90-year-old actor said in the press release, quote, "I've heard about space for a long time. I'm taking the opportunity. I see it for myself. What a miracle," unquote. Now, Shatner will be the oldest man to ever go into space, and the date for the launch was originally the 12th, but was delayed a day due to weather. So, let's just hope that makes it back to Earth. I don't think Jeff Bezos and Amazon would love it if they were responsible for killing William Shatner. So, cross your fingers. Now, this of course did not go without parody, as on the season premiere of Saturday Night Live, Owen and Luke Wilson teamed up to spoof Jeff Bezos with a Star Trek spin-off. The brothers played Jeff and his brother Mark in Star Trek Ego Quest, a Star Trek series about the Bezos brothers wasting time in space while piloting a penis-shaped vessel. Now, on to news about shows. Star Trek Prodigy was featured at the New York Comic Con this past weekend. And it was announced that David Diggs, Jamila Jamil, Jason Alexander, and Robert Beltran have joined the Season 1 voice cast of the show with recurring roles. Now, Diggs will play Commander Tysis, Jamil will voice Ensign Ascensia, Alexander will voice Dr. Noom, and Beltran will reprise his Star Trek Voyager role, albeit with a new rank, Captain Chakotay. Prodigy will be premiering on October 28th with a 1-hour premiere episode titled Lost and Found. Also at New York Comic Con was a panel for Star Trek Discovery. Season 4 sees Burnham and crew face a gravitational anomaly that threatens the whole galaxy. Now, I'm going to just bet right here that's only Michael Burnham who knows how to stop it, despite the handicap of being several centuries behind in scientific knowledge. Of course, Season 4 starts on November 18th. Let's see how many episodes I get through before I'm disgusted and just walk off again. Hey, at least I give it a shot. Anyway, let's go to that interview with Dayton Ward. Alright, here back at Planet Comic Con 2021 with Dayton Ward.
Hey, everybody.
Writer super extraordinaire.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I got butter you up, So, what have you been doing in the intervening century since we've last been here?
Oh, the century that was 2020?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, thankfully, I was able to keep working throughout the whole mess last year. So I continued to write, continued to publish. I'm still doing some consulting work for CBS, so I stay busy.
Oh, excellent. Well, since we've interviewed several times, we've covered questions. It's no use, going over the same road again and again and again.
Yeah, we've been here a few times.
I have my decks of questions from Pod Decks.
Okay.
So we're gonna play a little game.
All right.
5 questions.
5 questions.
First off, pick a number between 1 and 4.
3.
3. All right. Oddly enough, Dayton picked. Kevin picked the same one.
I'm just trying to figure out how the numbers equate, because unless you're going left to right or right to left. Okay.
This is 1. This is 1, 2, 3.
Oh, I got you. All right.
So we'll shuffle the deck. Poorly, I might add. All right.
Truly randomized.
Yep. All right. Question 1. What is the main thing that influences your decisions?
The main thing that influences my decisions. Is it something that will hurt someone if I do something or if I don't do something? The impact to other people is how I view my decisions.
That's a fair idea. All right, let's go. Question number 2. Which magazine would you like to be on the cover of?
Oh, wow, that's a good one. I never gave it any thought. I'd like to be Time's Person of the Year, but we know that's not going to happen, right? So maybe some science fiction, like, if Starlog was still around, I'd want to be on the cover of Starlog.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't see myself on, like, Playgirl or anything, so we're going to, or Sports Illustrated for the swimsuit issue. How's that?
Okay. So. Let's go down a little bit more here. Oh, I just used that one, so let's use that one. If you could bankrupt one person or company, who would it be?
Donald Trump.
Yes.
Times 4.
Yes.
Or whatever, yeah.
We're not political here, so.
Not politically speaking. So.
Yeah. All right, let's go down a little bit more here. I like to be random. Question 4. If you were in charge, what 3 items would you have in the office vending machine?
Ooh, that's a fantastic answer. Or a fantastic question. Oh, 3 things in the vending machine. Mountain Dew for me.
Okay.
Twizzlers. And I guess we'll try something healthy. Hang on. Apples. Granny Smith apples.
Excellent. All right, let's go.
Right. Sounds like a good mix.
All right, question 4. What is something in life you really have an appreciation for that most people don't?
Thing I appreciate that most. Wow, that's a really good question. I don't know. Quiet time at the end of the day. I like sitting outside and just unwinding at the end of the day. Letting the world go on without me for a while. Downtime. So people seem to energy or time for that. They seem to be busy doing something. And I'm like, you know what? It's okay to sit and do nothing once in a while.
That is an excellent answer. Good job. Let's see, that was what, 4? All right, for final question. Drum roll. Were you ever really passionate about something and then suddenly lost interest? If so, what was it?
Wow, that's another good one. This is hard. You know what? I was a software developer for 25 years, and I thought that was what I was going to do for my entire working life because I loved doing it. Yeah. And then I eventually just fell out of love with it because I fell in love with writing. Okay. So I don't do software development anymore. I gave it up to be a writer.
All right. Well, Dayton, thank you for playing our game. Is there anything you want to promote?
Go to my website, DaytonWard.com. That way, that's the short answer instead of trying to tell you about all the cool books that I write and hopefully sell.
All right, Dayton. We will see you around the galaxy, hopefully in April next year.
I will be here.
All right. Thank you. And we're back from that Comic-Con memory. Now, Dayton's new book, Star Trek Coda Book 1, Moments Asunder, is out now on store shelves. So go over to Amazon or Walmart.com or wherever you buy your books and pick up a copy. Now, let's go on to the Star Wars news.
Roger, roger.
And Star Wars news will be rather short today. Disney World's Star Wars Cosplay Hotel, Star Wars Galactic Cruiser, will open on March 1st, 2022, with reservations starting on October 28th. Now, Disney Vacation Club members, Disney Pass holders, and Disney Visa card members will be given the first crack at a stay. And please go to, I think it was 2 episodes ago, or an episode ago, where I outlined the cost and everything you get to go in that overpriced Star Cruiser. Yeah, I think William Shatner's Voyage into Space is probably cheaper. George Lucas is getting his own Black Series action figure. The toy, entitled George Lucas in Stormtrooper disguise, will be a 6-inch figure with a removable helmet and blaster. The figure will be out next year for the 50th anniversary of Lucas's company, Lucasfilm. Now, in a press statement, Vicky Stratford, Senior Director of Product Design at Hasbro, said, quote, "When the opportunity came to design the George Lucas figure, we were especially excited for this project. This figure is just one of the many ways we can honor his legacy for years to come, and we hope fans cherish it as much as we did," unquote. Now, of course, this is not the first time George has been immortalized in a Stormtrooper outfit. A 3 3/4-inch one was made way back in 2006. Now, we close out the Star Wars news with some book news. First off, there's Star Wars Shadow of the Sith by Adam Christopher, which comes out on June 28th, 2022, which is available for pre-order now. And the log line for this reads, "The Empire is dead. Nearly 2 decades on from the Battle of Endor, the tattered remains of Palpatine's forces have fled to the farthest reaches of the galaxy. But for the heroes of the New Republic, danger and loss are ever-present companions. Even in this newly forged era of peace, Jedi Master Luke Skywalker is haunted by visions of the dark side, foretelling an ominous secret growing somewhere in the depth of space on a dead world called Exegol. The disturbance in the Force is undeniable, and Luke's worst fears are confirmed when his old friend, Lando Calrissian, comes to him with reports of a new Sith menace. After his daughter was stolen from his arms, Lando searched the stars for any trace of his lost child, but every new rumor only led to dead ends and fading hopes until he crossed paths with Ochi of Bestoon, a Sith assassin tasked with kidnapping a young girl. Ochi's true motives remain shrouded to Luke and Lando, for on Junkyard Moon, the mysterious envoy of the Sith Eternal has bequeathed a sacred dagger to the assassin, promising that it will give him answers to the questions that have haunted him since the Empire fell. In exchange, he must complete a final mission, return to Exegol with the key to the Sith's glorious rebirth, the granddaughter of Darth Sidious himself, Rey. As Ochi hunts Rey and her parents to the edge of the galaxy, Luke and Lando race into the mystery of the Sith's lingering shadow and aid a young family running for their lives." Unquote. Next off is Star Wars Brotherhood by Mike Chen. It'll be released on May 10th, 2022, and its logline is, The Clone Wars have begun. Battle lines are being drawn throughout the galaxy. With every world that joins the Separatists, the peace guarded by the Jedi Order is slipping through their fingers. After the explosion devastates Cato Nemodia, the jewel of the Trade Federation, the Republic is blamed and the fragile neutrality of the peace is threatened. The Jedi dispatch Obi-Wan Kenobi, one of the Order's most gifted diplomatic minds, to investigate the crime and maintain the balance that has begun to dangerously shift. As Obi-Wan investigates with the help of a historic Nemodian guard, he finds himself working against the Separatists, who hope to draw the planet into their conspiracy, and senses the sinister hand of Aj Ventress in the mists that cloak the planet. Amid the brewing chaos, Anakin Skywalker rises to the rank of Jedi Knight, despite the mandate that Obi-Wan travel alone and his former master's insistence that he listen this time. Anakin's headstrong determination means nothing can stop him from crashing the party and bringing along a promising but conflicted youngling, once a Padawan to Obi-Wan. Anakin now finds himself on equal but uncertain footing with the man who raised him. The lingering friction between them increases the danger for everyone around them. The two knights must learn a new way to work together, and they must learn quickly to save Cato Nemodia and its people from the fires of war. To overcome the threat that they face, they must grow beyond master and apprentice. They must stand together as brothers. Unquote. And finally, Star Wars Stories of Jedi and Sith, edited by Jennifer Headley, with a release date of January 7th, 2022. And its logline reads, "The brave Jedi, the devious Sith. These iconic heroes and villains embody the struggle between light and dark that is at the very heart of Star Wars. In this exciting middle grade anthology, 10 acclaimed authors imagine all new tales for some of the saga's most popular characters, from Luke Skywalker to Darth Vader, from Obi-Wan Kenobi to Aj Ventress, and beyond, complete with beautiful spot illustrations. Epic standoffs, cunning plots, courageous action, and ruthless anger are all here in this showcase of the enduring power of one of the greatest movie sagas of all time. Include stories of the following authors: Roseanne A. Brown, Sarwat Kachada, Delilah S. Dawson, Tessa Grattan, Michael Kogue, Sam Meggs, Michael Mordecai, Alex Sugara, Vera Strang, Karen Strong, with illustrations by Jack Bartok. Well, I guess we have one more here in the listing. Star Wars Padawan by Kirsten White, with the release date of July 26, 2022. Its logline reads: Obi-Wan Kenobi really wants to be a good Padawan, the best Padawan even, but that's feeling more and more impossible with this new master, Qui-Gon Jinn. All of Obi-Wan's friends are off training to be real Jedi, getting mission experience while he's still in Coruscant, practicing his forms and sitting in silent contemplation. Ever since Qui-Gon's form master Dooku left the Order, it feels like Qui-Gon has been too busy trying to connect with the Force and arguing with the Jedi Council to properly train his Padawan. When Obi-Wan finally convinces Qui-Gon to take him on a mission to a remote planet once explored by an ancient Jedi, his master doesn't show up the morning they are to leave, so Obi-Wan impulsively takes it on by himself. Upon arriving on the mysterious lush planet, he encounters a group of teenagers with no adult supervision and who all seem to have some connection to the Force. Free from the constraints of the Order, Obi-Wan joins them in their daring adventures, but the Padawan side of him keeps questioning the teen's strange relationship to the Force, and to the verdant planet around them, and what all of it might mean to his future. Obi-Wan will test the limits of his relationship to the Jedi and to the Force with this exciting yet soulful exploration of one of Star Wars' most enduring heroes. Unquote. And now, let's go on to the Geek News. And we begin the Geek News today with William Shatner. Twice in one episode, yeah. William Shatner. His post-Trek book series, Tech War, will be remade into a mixed reality adult animated series from Pure Imagination Studios. The series will be developed and written by Matt Michnovetz, who did 24 in Star Wars The Clone Wars. Tech War is based on Shatner's series of best-selling detective novels, first published in 1989. The novels are set in the year 2043 and follow a former detective in futuristic Los Angeles who was framed for the crime of dealing an illegal mind-altering drug in the form of a biodigital microchip. It possesses a great threat to humanity and has the potential to become a virus that will lead to an unrecoverable future. Now, Trek War is being conceptualized as a mixed reality animated series where viewers will be able to participate with the show in different forms of technology via mobile, tablets, or wearable devices. The series can be viewed standalone, but the level of immersion into the show, its characters, and technology is enhanced by the ability to become part of the narrative. Yeah, that's not really my thing. I never got into William Shatner's Tech War series, but yeah, good for him. Apple has renewed sci-fi epic Foundation for a second season. The drama from showrunner David S. Goyer, based on Isaac Asimov's trilogy of novels, will get that second act. Goyer said in a statement, quote, "Since my childhood, I've dreamed of how Hari Seldon and Ido Demerzel would look and sound, what Terminus and Trantor would feel like." Now, with Season 2, our audience will get to visit more of Asimov's indelible characters and worlds, including Hobar Mallow, General Bel Rios, and all the Outer Suns. I'm thrilled that a whole new generation of fans are reading Asimov's brilliant masterwork. We're playing with the long game with Foundation, and I'm grateful to my partners at Apple and Skydance for entrusting me with this epic Buckle up. We're about to fold some serious space, unquote. Now, Goyer had previously indicated that he would like the show to run for at least 8 seasons. Now, according to Madonna, she was offered a role in The Matrix, telling Jimmy Fallon on The Tonight Show, quote, I regret that I turned down Catwoman. That was pretty fierce. I also turned down the role in The Matrix. Can you believe it? I wanted to kill myself. That's like one of the best movies ever made. A teeny tiny part of me regrets just that one moment in my life, unquote. Well, to think, somewhere in the multiverse, there's a universe where Madonna played opposite Will Smith in The Matrix. Now, while we're on The Matrix, Matrix star Keanu Reeves will be honored by Canada's Walk of Fame as part of the Walk's class of 2021. They tweeted out, quote, congratulations to our 2021 Canada's Walk of Fame inductees and honorees, broadcast to come this December on CTV, unquote. Now, other inductees include singer-songwriter Julie Black, late blues artist Salome Bay, wrestling star Bret the Hitman Hart, and decathlete Damian Warner. Now, the Matrix Resurrections will open in theaters and HBO Max on December 22nd. Doctor Who's 13th season will begin on Halloween this year. The 13th season will be a one long story arc, and will be called Doctor Who Flux, and will help put a cap on Jodie Whittaker's tenure as the Doctor. The actress will take her bow in 2022 with 3 feature-length specials that will and the first arriving on New Year's Day. And finally tonight, the new Hellraiser reboot has cast Sense8 and the L-Word Generation Q actress Jamie Clayton as the new Pinhead, a role played originally by Doug Bradley. Clive Barker has also joined the production as a producer. Now, the movie has already been shot, but is being produced by Spyglass Media Group and Hulu, and will come out on Hulu later next year. And that brings us to the end of the sci-fi news for today. And now, please be sure to check us out on social media. We're at Twitter at Multiverse Tom. We're also on Facebook and Instagram as well. And if you'd like to contribute financially, check out the show notes, visit the TeePublic store, and so much more, head on over to multiversetonight.com. Now, if you're a subscriber, thank you. Be sure to share us with friends. And if you're brand new to the show, please be sure to subscribe or hit that follow button and leave some feedback as well, and let me know how we're doing. Now, special thanks to Shane Ivers for the intro music and Lobo Loco for the outro theme music, and Dayton Ward for that interview. Now, thanks for watching the sci-fi edition of Multiverse Tonight. We'll be back in 2 days with a brand new comic book edition, and 2 weeks with a brand new sci-fi edition. Now, please exit the universe in an orderly fashion. Good night. All right, one down, one to go.
Don't bark. Hi, Daddy.
All right.
I don't know how to water. I don't know water here. Good boy, don't be barking. Yeah, has Wade been here?
Yeah.
Sit.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. You say. You pick away.
Let's stretch a little here. The wife just came back for a second to get her glass. She's going into town to get some supplies from the grocery store. And let's see. Just curious here. Tonight on Raw, Becky Lynch teases dream match with Lita. I don't think the graphic goes with that, doesn't it? Hush. Let's see. Do, 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 do. Hush. Hold on, folks. You need to be quiet. You want to be quiet? There you go. Silly doggy. Alright. Take that off. Oh. 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 Alright, let's make sure. I am not. I'm too. Alright, let's get to it. Tonight, Bebo saves Christmas, Woody gets fighty, and Lord of the Rings goes to the other hobbits. All that and more on the comic book edition of Multiverse Tonight. Let's try that again. We're going to have to switch my deck. Geek 2. Tonight, Bebo saves Christmas, Woody gets fighty, and Lord of the Rings goes to the other hobbits. All that and more on the comic book edition of Multiverse Tonight. Comic books, sci-fi, fantasy, and more. If you're looking for a roundup of geeky news, you're in the right place. This is Multiverse Tonight. And here's your host, Thomas Townley. Hello and welcome to episode 146 of Multiverse Tonight, the comic book edition. I'm, of course, your host, Thomas Townley. And, the other day I was just kind of, I was at work, just, mindlessly doing, my work stuff. And I thought, maybe they should restart the DC movie universe. And start it the way they started the Marvel movie universe, with a character that's not widely known. Martian Manhunter. Well, start Martian Manhunter. You start the movie, you establish the Martian Manhunter's life on Mars, tracking down other Martians, and have him track down, he's working to track down some white Martian terrorists. And while he's in the middle of the investigation, all of a sudden he gets beamed off planet, lands on Earth. The guy who accidentally captures him dies of a heart attack, and the lab's destroyed, so he's stuck on Earth. And so so he's stuck there for a while. He has to, let's say he basically learns to be human, learns how to disguise, and so we get kind of a montage of him learning you know, learning different identities and stuff like that. And then we get to you know, he has to save someone, and you know, he has a chance. That person has perfected the same technology that could get him back to Mars. So he has to go rescue that person, and you know, at the end, you know, big villain fight. Ooh, turns out white Martians are on Earth too. At the end, you know, he manages to save the person, but the work is destroyed again, and so he's downtrodden. And then but you know, he's, you know, resigns to living life on Earth, you know, and maybe he just, you know, he needs to put a team together to help him. And then you get to the end credit scene, and Batman comes in and says, "We'd like you to help build this team we're thinking of, and I'll help build that technology to get you home." You know, something like that. You know, something in that kind of vein. You know, that was my thought. You know, it's like, you know, do it like that. Don't give us a Batman or Superman movie top of the billing. Wait till like the second set of movies to give Batman Superman movie. They've had movies. We know who Batman is. We know who Superman is. Well, we know how they are in the comic books, and we know how they are in the movies, which is seemingly two different things. But anyway, that's just me kind of blue skying. Let's go on to the DC Comics news. And we start DC Comics news with DC Fandom. Now, fans who register for DC's online Fandom Con will get 2 non-fungible tokens starting that started this past October 5th. Fans can get a free NFT chosen by Jim Lee, DC publisher and chief creative officer. Now, fans can also get a second one by sharing it on social media. The NFTs will include characters such as Batman, Superman, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, and Harley Quinn, as well as comic book covers in 3 levels of rarity. For example, Wonder Woman will include covers at the common level, 1987's Wonder Woman #1 by George Perez. The rare level would be 2000 to 2021's Nubia and the Amazons #1 by Alyssa Martinez. And the legendary level would be Your Floor on 2021's Future State Wonder Woman #1 by Jenny Friesen. Now, DC Fandom returns on October 16th. And they sent me a thing for an NFT today, and I sent it in, but so far I haven't seen the NFT show up in my inbox yet. So, you know, stay tuned for that, I guess. The Batman webtoon Wayne Family Adventures has been tapped to be turned into a live-action miniseries. The people at Eismahawk will be making the miniseries for the YouTube channel. From the press release, quote, "Batman, The Family Adventures is the first original DC story by Webtoon. This will be a live-action adaptation from the Webtoon comic, which drew more than 400,000 readers in the first 2 days alone. In the Webtoon comic, it follows Bruce Wayne and the challenges he faces as a father figure to an endless supply of adopted and fostered and biological superhero children," unquote. Now, the live-action adaptation will be directed by Eismahawk's Danny Shepard and director of photography helmed by Eismahawk's Jeremy Lee. Distribution will be in mid-October 2021 as part of a 3-part miniseries on Eismahawk's YouTube channel. Now, more on that. Future cast members will include Jonathan Bentley as Bruce Wayne, Yoshi Suzuharu as Dick Grayson, Nightwing, Lisa Folis as Barbara Gordon, and there's a lot more. You can read about it in the show notes, unquote. John Wesley Shipp will be back for season 8 of The Flash. He told the Comic Book Resources, quote, "I'm not sure exactly what time it will be, but Eric Wallace and I have discussed having the opportunity to explore Jay Garrick as a mentor that we missed with Wally. There was an opportunity with Wally, but we missed it. I would love now to be able to fulfill that playing Jay. That relationship that they set up, and that Jordan Fisher set up, and the writers set up so beautifully in the last 2 Flash episodes. Unquote. Now, the Flash comes back on November 16th. And over on Stargirl, Joel McHale has been promoted to series regular for the show's 3rd season. Now, Joel McHale plays Stargirl's predecessor, Sylvester Pemberton, aka Starman. The character supposedly died in the series premiere, but recently returned to life. DC's Stargirl is currently airing on Tuesdays on the CW. And more CW news: the Bebo Saves Christmas Holiday Special has been selected for Wednesday, December 1st, with an encore presentation on December 21st. The special is described as, quote, everyone's favorite fuzzy toy turned furry god will once again be a hero as he tries to save Christmas in this all-new animated 1-hour special, Bebo Saves Christmas. When Sprinkles, voiced by Chris Kattan, and Efficiency by Obsessed Elf decides that Christmas would run better without Santa Claus, voiced by Ernie Hudson, Bebo, voiced by Ben Diskin, and his friends travel to the North Pole to help discover what truly makes Christmas meaningful. Also starring Kimiko Glenn as the voice of Tweebo, Yvette Nicole Brown as the voice of Turbo, Keith Ferguson as the voice of Fleabo, and Victor Garber as the narrator. Bebo Saves Christmas is produced by Warner Brothers Animation and is written by Matt Malla and Kevin Schnick, and executive produced by Sam Register, Greg Berlanti, Sarah Schnecker, David Madden, Phil Clammer, Granine Godfrey, and Mark Guggenheim, with Kido Shimazui. Unquote. Now, that was just silly. Let's go on to the Marvel Comics news. Now, remember the Gamora episode in Season 1 of What If? No? That's because it didn't happen yet. Now, if you watch the season finale of the show What If, you'll see that Gamora was tapped by the Watcher to help save the multiverse, but we didn't see her in any of the previous 8 episodes. In an interview with comicbook.com, exec producer and head writer AC Bradley told why. Quote, we definitely will see Gamora. What happened with the Gamora episode, there was originally supposed to be, early on in the season, a Tony and Gamora-centric episode. However, due to COVID and production delays, one of our amazing animation houses around the globe got hit pretty hard by the pandemic. And we were left with 2 choices. Push the entire season back to later this year, or push this 1 episode to Season 2. We made the choice to push that episode to Season 2, and hope that seeing Gamora in the finale serves as a teaser for what is to come. In Season 2, it'll almost be like a little bit of a prequel. We'll see how Tony and Gamora became friends, because those two don't even interact in the main MCU universe. Unquote. Venom 2 star Woody Harrelson was apparently involved in a fight at the Wargate Hotel in Washington, D.C. The fight apparently broke out on October 6th, with police reports obtained from insiders detailing how the fight got started. Reportedly, Woody Harrelson confronted a man that was taking pictures of him and requested that he stop taking pictures and erase those he had already taken. An argument said to have ensued, with the man reportedly trying to grab Harrelson by the neck or throat, linked to the defensive punch to ward him off. Police were called to the scene after 11 p.m. Now, Woody Harrelson has not been charged with any crime at this time. The actor had been on scene at the Wargate Hotel filming HBO's The Wargate Plumbers, a series detailing how the location led to President Richard Nixon's downfall in the 1970s Watergate scandal. Venom 2 has broken multiple theatrical records in its opening weekend and has tied with Shang-Chi in crossing the $100 million mark in its first 5 days. Marvel, according to source reports to Variety, is working on a WandaVision spin-off starring Kathryn Hahn for Disney+. Hahn would reprise the role of Agatha Harkness, and it would be a dark comedy with WandaVision's head writer Jack Schaffer, who would serve as the writer and executive producer on the show. It would be the first project for Schaffer, who has gone on under her overall deal with Marvel and 20th Television. Marvel Studios India's Twitter account might have accidentally listed the release date for the new Blade movie. The graphic they had for the 2022 slate of movies listed October 7th, 2022 as the date. Now, Marvel has kept the speculation alive by saying nothing at all. Now, let's go on to the geek news. Jake Gyllenhaal will be starring in director Sam Hargreaves' adaptation of Rob Liefeld's comic Prophet. Gyllenhaal will star as John Prophet, a man conscripted by Germans near the end of World War II and subjected to scientific experiments that gave him superhuman strength. Mark Guggenheim, described known for his work on the CW's Arrowverse TV shows, is penning the script. Now, in the film, John Prophet volunteers for a German experiment near the end of World War II in order to feed his family. After a bombing buries him alive and traps him underground for 20 years, he reawakens in 1965, where things are not great for Prophet. The world has moved on without him, his daughter resents him, and KGB agents are after him to create super soldiers from his blood. The movie is being made by Studio 8 Productions. Manga creator Takao Saito has died. Takao was known best for creating Golgo 13, the story of a professional hitman, which was first published in 1968 and later adapted into games and films. The 201st edition of the manga came out this past July, breaking the Guinness World Record for the most volumes ever published of a single manga series. Sato passed away from pancreatic cancer. He was 84 years old. Lord of the Rings will have a multi-ethnic hobbit tribe. British comedian Sir Lenny Henry, who will appear in the series as a Harfoot, a multi-ethnic tribe of hobbits that were mentioned in the original Tolkien books but were absent from the original film trilogy, recently spoke about what it's like to play a black hobbit. Quote, "For the last 2 years, I've been working on Lord of the Rings. It's an extraordinary thing. It's the biggest television show that's ever been made in terms of money and headcount. Literally 100 people on set glaring at you and trying to work out what you'll look like 4 feet tall." Unquote. Now, Henry gave this interview with BBC4, as reported by Bleeding Cool. He also told them, quote, "I'm a Harfoot because J.R.R. Tolkien, who was also from Birmingham, suddenly there were black hobbits. I'm a black hobbit. It's brilliant. It's what's notable about this run of the books. It's a prequel to the age that we've seen in the films. It's about the early days of the Shire and Tolkien's environment. So we're an indigenous population of Harfoots. We're hobbits, but we're called Harfoots. We're multicultural. We're a tribe, not a race, so we're black, Asian, and brown, even Maori types within it." Unquote. Now, Harfoots are one of 3 breeds of hobbits, the other 2 being Stores and Fallowhides. The series, which takes place during the Second Age, thousands of years before the events of The Lord of the Rings, will depict an early age of Harfoots when they first began migrating west. In the books, Tolkien described the Harfoots as browner of skin than other hobbits. They were also the first to migrate westward and were on particularly friendly terms with the dwarves. The Lord of the Rings will premiere on Amazon Prime on September 2nd, 2022. Kurt Busiek's catalog of titles, including Astro City, Aerosmith, and Autumnlands, will release new content out of Image Comics next year. Now, January 2022 will see Busiek team up with Carlos Pansio from Fantastic Four, Avengers Forever, Final Crisis, X-Men, and Superman for Aerosmith Behind Enemy Lines. The 6-issue miniseries will then be followed in February by the release of a remastered hardcover collected edition of the original series. March 2022 will feature Astro City's return as Busiek collaborates with Brent Anderson, Alex Ross, and Alex Sinclair for a one-shot special that introduces new characters along with the release of collected editions. Free Agents is a new series by Busiek and co-writer Fabian Nacia and artist Stephen Mooney that joins Autumnlands from Busiek, Benjamin Dewey, and Jordi Belair for a late 2022 release. Now, in a statement, Busiek said, "I'm thrilled to be back at Image and glad to be working with Eric Stevenson and the whole crew here. Image is the best comics publisher for career-owned work. It's very nice to be bringing my books together again here, where they can be available as a group supported by the team here and sitting alongside such great series as Saga, The Walking Dead, Criminal, Savage Dragon, and so many more. And not just because Image is only about 20 minutes from where I live, so I can actually drop by the place once the pandemic is in the rear view. My creative partners and I are looking forward to having a home for the work we're doing now and lots of new ideas to come." Unquote. Now, some of Busiek's backlist of titles, such as Shock Rockets, Superstars Seen on TV, and The Wizard's Tale, will be getting re-releases at Image. Aerosmith Behind Enemy Lines goes on sale on January 19th, 2022, followed by Aerosmith So Smart in Their Fine Uniforms on February 23rd, 2022, and in bookstores on March 1st, 2022. After an almost 19-year run at Universal Studios Florida, the Shrek 4D attraction will be shutting down as the park continues to modernize their attractions. Now, the ride will close for good on January 10th, 2022. The ride combined elements of a coaster with an original story, with Shrek 4D's central plot being Shrek and Donkey rescuing Princess Fiona from the ghost of Lord Farquaad. DreamWorks returned to animate the story for the ride and later released it on DVD as Shrek 3D to coincide with the theatrical premiere of Shrek 2. Now, no word on what will be replacing that ride. Unquote. And that, today, brings us to the end of the comic book news. Now, be sure to check us out on social media. We're at Twitter at Multiverse Tom. We're also on Facebook and Instagram as well. And if you'd like to contribute financially to the show, check out the show notes, visit the TeePublic store, and so much more. Head on over to multiversetonight.com. Now, if you're a subscriber, thank you. Thank you very much. Be sure to share us with friends and family. If you're brand new to the show, please be sure to hit that subscribe or follow button and leave us with some feedback. Let me know how we're doing. Now, special thanks to Shane Ivers for the intro music and Lobo Loco for the outro theme music. Thanks for watching the comic book edition of Multiverse Tonight. We'll be back in just 2 weeks with a brand new sci-fi and comic book edition. Now, please exit the universe in an orderly fashion. Good night. I forgot to put the indices there at the end of the... Yeah. Oh well. There's of course an easy fix for that, and that's this. Multiverse Tonight is a production of Half Baked Genre Productions, copyright 2021, all rights reserved. And that's how you take care of that. And now you just go. Add that back in. Kind of like that. Otherwise, we're going to say. So let's call it a night. Thank you